So, more than likely this looks a little bit different from the thumbnail, but I figured before I start working on this body, getting it pretty nice, I'll just go ahead and show y'all the interior of this thing, or the guts, before I put everything back together. So, I picked this up probably a week and a half ago. Drove a little bit under an hour to pick it up off of Facebook Marketplace. That is because the price was relatively pretty good for eBay compared to eBay prices. I mean, picked it up for $30, and it's so a way to tell these apart. I think these were first released in '85. This one is a little bit later. I read like one like kind of blog about this. The '87s had cheaper chrome and cheaper stickers like this right here. So I'm thinking this is around like 87-ish. I think they, if I read that right, they released it from 85 to 86, and then they re-released it a little bit after that, and they had bigger wheels with smaller profile tires. I just realized I haven't said who released it, but if you're not familiar with these were released in the 80s, like I said, by RadioShack. They were toy grade for the time. To me, all these are toys, but people will argue about that, so I'm not even going to start on that. So yeah, they don't have a. They've maybe got a little bit flat spot in it because you can kind of see it when it runs. It kind of just bubbles along. But I kind of think that's part of the cool factor of it, if that's even a term. The transmitter's in perfect shape. There's no corrosion or anything. The truck is pretty much the same. Ignore that. That's what I'll show you here in a second. It's got a little bit of corrosion and stuff happening, but that's fine. So I didn't really have a plan. Oh, speaking of that, these are usually these are usually broke here on the little brush guard or whatever. Actually, it kind of goes right there. I kind of don't like the way these look, and I'm gonna take it off before I do break it and just run it as is, because I think it looks pretty good as is. So I picked this up with not a real plan of what I wanted to do to it. I haven't made a little RC car video in a while, so I figured I'd go ahead and make a video about this because I find it interesting, at least. And the rule of YouTube, if you find it interesting, more than likely someone else will too. These were the old electronics. If for some reason you want these, I'm not getting rid of the transmitter because I got up there. I like having those little old transmitters around, but I have no interest in running this ever again. So if you see something in there that you want, I think I got an email. Got me an email on here. Leave a comment because I don't really check those emails. That email account. So leave me a comment if you want this. And then say like, hey, I shot you an email on that. And then I don't know, we'll work something out. Like if you just want to pay shipping, I'll send it to you. I'm sure that this worked, but I didn't test it, and my theory was with the price of C batteries now, which is it takes two 4 C batteries and one 9-volt, 2 9-volts if you count the transmitter. It was cheaper to just convert it to run on a LiPo, so that's what I did, and I'll show you that. For the receiver, let's go and start there. Also, I left the dangly antenna on there because I like watching these just bounce around while you're running it, because if you let it do that, it'll never stop. It'll sit there and wiggle till the end of the time. So just kind of watching that bang around while going over bumps is fun. So there is just a fly sky receiver. I'm actually using my dad's because it's a little bit nicer than mine. You can set endpoints and stuff. Even then, I think that's about $50, which is not bad. So I highly suggest getting a fancy one, or at least where you can set endpoints for the servo, because actually I'll get to that in a second. You need to set endpoints. For the ESC, it was just a cheap $10 ESC that was rated actually pretty good on the Amazon, and then the motor is stock because this ESC, I don't see sending a ton of power to this motor. And these motors, I've read, are pretty bad to burn out if you just pump it full of juice. So that's another reason I left the stock wiring on there. That way it's kind of, I don't want to use the word restricting, but it's not sending all the usage to the motor. Try to keep that motor to last a little bit longer. And then the servo, which is just a 1/10 scale servo. I got a pack of these for like 20 bucks. I've just been, actually I've got one more, so I probably need to, I think it was a 4-pack and I have one more. So I want me one of them Tamiya lunch boxes. I might try to grab one of those up as my next RC. But I put that in there, and like I said, you need to set the endpoints because this modern servos turn a lot more than what that just did. And if you don't restrict that, you'll break something. You'll probably just break this little U thing right here that this slides in. Speaking of that, there's other videos if I don't explain this too great, but that is just like a little brass bushing type thing on the servo screw. Actually, yeah, here they are. They come with the servo. At least they came with my servos. It's one of them. And then here's a whole piece. It's just that little rubber boot to go around there to tighten up your clearances. And that's pretty much it. It just sits in there and just set your endpoints good and it'll steer fine. These things are super interesting because like a lot of the old RadioShack cars, they got a 2-speed transmission, which is that little switch right there. You flip it, they're slow. Actually, you can hear the difference of gearing. And I've already took it apart. I probably should record this while I was actually kind of revamping this. But how this works is there's little shafts in there. You got one differential back here, and there's like a little pinion off these shafts that go up here to drive these. Which, also, fun fact, these are portal axles. I mean, because the little gear is actually right underneath the servo. You get portal axles in the 80s from a toy grade RC. That's pretty sick. But for the servo, it is just on a little piece of that thick, like basswood sheets. I kind of cut out. I got a pack of like basswood sheets for the little boat I was working on, and I cut out like a square to fit there. You can see it there, and it actually blocks the like some sand and dirt and stuff from getting down into the gears. So it kind of works as a dust shield too. I haven't made any holes in this or cut new holes, so if I wanted to, I can go back to that. I don't know why I would, but I could. I need to make an adapter because I'm going to run a 900 milliamp hour in there, and it's got, I forget what these plugs are called, but I'm going to whip up a little adapter. That way, I've been testing it with these 450s, which we run in our, okay, if you don't want to stand up, which we run our little UMX turbo timbers. It has 2 plugs, but the big boys, which I run, need an adapter, so I'll make that. But battery is literally just going to slide in this compartment. So that's that. I want to stick some pieces of foam in there to keep it from beating around in there, but that's going to be super simple. Okay, so for the body is in great shape, but other than these stickers, so I am going to kind of stick some of these back down. I've got a little technique for that I may show you, and if it doesn't work good, I just won't show you at all, so that's going to be fine. This chrome, I don't think I can do anything to this chrome, but you can see the chrome up front's kind of getting yellow. But that is what it is. Also, speaking of quality and toy grade in the 80s, usually these days if this came out, this trim right here would be a sticker. That is a actual piece of trim, like chrome trim that just pops in there. Like there you go, you can see it up there. It just pops in there. That's real trim. That's so cool. And the grill, you'd expect that to be a sticker, but there's actual pieces. You know what I'm trying to say. It's not just a sticker. So I probably need to clean this thing up before I do anything.
tripod all the way here. And I forgot the adapter, so can't use it. I have forgotten so much stuff. I feel so half-cocked today. Tired. I'm going to go to bed. I will see you guys in the morning. Hey guys, it's about 2:30 in the morning, and there is a large pack of coyotes out around my camp.
So real quick, I went ahead and took the light bar off and then the motor. I would not recommend taking this out. It didn't really, it helped me clean a little bit right there, but not much. Because these are just super fragile, these little clips. So don't be like me and don't take that off. Luckily I didn't break any. Luckily I didn't break any of the clips, but you probably won't be as lucky. So if I use this a lot for my bashers and stuff, like I've done this to my slash, I don't know how many times. Roll of super clear tape, not like the cloudy stuff, like the cheap stuff. And so what I did right here is, let me see if there's a better example. Yeah. So like right here and right here is kind of bubbling up, so I kind of cut it to relieve it, and then put one piece on top of the other, and I put a piece of tape across that. Usually I would use an X-Acto knife, but I can't really find it. So I got one of these, and then this is what your stickers come on when on like a Tamiya kit. It comes on this, like, I don't know what you would describe it as, like parchment paper material, wax paper I guess is a better word. So I stick my piece of tape on there, and of course when you do that you're getting fingerprints in there, so you can kind of see right here. I kind of cut a piece I wanted, and then got rid of the fingerprint section, and then picked it up with the corner of this, and then just kind of stuck it over that. And yeah, it's more glossy right there, but with me wanting to clear over this, it's going to be glossy anyway, so I don't even think you'll notice the tape. And I did the same thing right here. This one actually came out really good. It was kind of peeled up, so I laid it over it, tucked it into this body line or whatever, and then cut it really slight, or this door jamb, or like faux door jamb. I guess that's not actually the door jamb, because the door jamb goes in there, but another body line right here. And then that's basically what I'm going to do to get all these stickers stuck down, which is going to take forever, but that's fine. There wasn't actually that many little bad spots anywhere. This one was probably the worst. Both of these were peeled up, and I kind of just taped over it like I showed you, I mean. I don't know why, but one of my favorite parts is where there's this little like bite mark of the vinyl missing, I think. I don't know, that's just... It's got some good patina on it for a RC car, if that makes sense. So while that's drying, I'm giving some attention to this chrome, and I think this was gold when it came out, because I don't know why. What's that weird little line right there? I don't know, but I don't know why this would be gold on the back. I was assuming it was just sun fade on the front, but I don't know. But so that's how it looked before. And this is how it is now. I don't know if this is actually working or I'm just cleaning it. But I didn't use what I wanted to use. I'm using some of this, which I found down here. I want to use some stuff called white diamond. That stuff works really good on everything. But yeah, I did this section of the bumper, and then I'm gonna just go ahead and hit the rest of this real quick. Not sure if well, I don't know yet. I don't know how it's done, but you see where some of the decals weren't stuck as good over time. The clear is kind of, that's a good one right there. The clear is kind of going up underneath it, which is kind of unfortunate, but they don't make me hate the look of the truck. So if it shines up pretty good, this might be worth it. I don't know. But I don't know. My whole goal was to look right there. That's peeling up again. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. But like I said, I don't really hate the look. It kind of makes it look more weathered, but that wasn't really the intent. It was more to protect these, not ruin it more. But that sticker is making me mad. But there's literally nothing I can do about it until this dries. I mean, if I want to stay here and hold this all night, it'll stay like that. But I don't want to. You could just look at it disrespect, man. Just lift back up as soon as I take the screwdriver off. Also, tape. Can't even really see it, so I probably should have just stuck the tape on there, stuck the stickers, and called it a day. But my fear is, with these being like the paper stickers, going through the puddle, and just ruining the stickers. I see that very possible. So at least with this, I don't have to worry about that. But if it don't look any better when it dries, it still looks, in my opinion, 10 times better than it did when I got it. So I guess that's really all that matters. So yeah, thanks for watching. Oh, no. This thing gets on pretty good.